Hello guys and welcome to episode 11. In this episode we'll be solving 5 SQL problems from the company Yelp. So let's get started. Problem number 1 here. Let's see what we have to do. We have to find the number of businesses and our filter is sell pizza. So we have to output one column, which is a number here, and we have one single filter. We have to filter for this word pizza. Let's write our select from statement. Now we know we have to count, but let's see. So what we need is number of businesses right here. And if we look in the table name, we have the word business. So we can conclude that one row is a business. So we have to show the number of rows because one row is a business. Now we have one filter here, businesses that sell pizza. Well, sell could be also a filter if there would be businesses that buy pizza. But in this case, there's no such thing. The only column that really denotes anything with pizza could be the name, but there's nothing in the name. And it's actually in here in the categories. So we just have to filter, we just have to look if we find the word pizza in there. There are 10 businesses that have pizza in categories. We're just going to rename this with NO businesses. And that's the answer. Let's check the solution. Everything seems to be fine. So just a quick recap. We have to find the count of rows, and one row is a business. And we just have a simple filter. We want to see if the word pizza is anywhere in the category column. Problem number 2, guys. Let's see what we have to do with this one. Find number of reviews received by, this seems to be a filter, Lolo's Chicken and Waffles. For each star, this is a grouping, each star. We have to output number of star, number of reviews here. And we also have to sort records by stars in ascending order. Okay, it's quite a bit. We have to show 2 columns, like the star and then a number, which is the number of stars. We have a filter. Okay, let's get started. There's a lot to process here. Let's select from the reviews. So let's see. For each star, stars, we're gonna have to do a group by for that, and we want to find the count. Our filter right here is Lolo's and Waffles. This would be probably the business name. So we're going to say where business name equals. And in this case, you see here, we have to actually use the double quotes because we have single quotes within the example. Let's quickly run this. This is only going to give us a 5 and a 1 because we didn't group by the stars. Group by stars. Now it's still going to give us 5 to 1 because that's actually the final answer, just that we actually have to sort the records by stars. So we have to order by stars, and that's our final answer right there. Let's check for solution. That's the solution. Let's just change this one to say number of stars, and there it is, guys. Stars, it's just 5. Number of stars, it's just 1. So quick recap. For every star, we want to show how many times we find it in the rows. And we specifically want the rows where the business name is Lolo's Chicken and Waffles. Here we group by the stars because we're using the count here. And then by the end of it, we have to order by stars ascending. And that's it for problem number 2. Let's see here. Problem number 3. What do we have to do? Find number of 5-star reviews earned by this. So we have to show a one number, and then we have, this is a filter, 5-star reviews, and this is another filter. We have 2 filters in one column to show. Select number of reviews. Since the table is called reviews, we can assume that one single row is a review. Therefore, we have to say count all of the rows from the reviews where 5-star reviews. So stars equals 5. And we want another filter where business name equals, again, we have to use double quotes here, double quotes, because we have single quotes inside. So let's check this one, should be the correct answer. Let's just rename this and say number of reviews. Actually, it should be more like, actually, number 5 reviews. 5-star reviews, something like that. Quick recap, we want to count all of the rows where these two conditions are met. Stars are 5, and the business name is this. And in our case, it's literally just 1. Problem number 4. Let's see what we have to do here. We have to cast the stars column into integer. Okay, so let's see. And then return all the other column values. Return it with the other column. So we have to cast stars into integer and just return everything else. Be aware that certain rows contain non-integer values here. You need to remove such rows. You need to remove or filter, basically. We don't really have to remove. We're just going to filter them out. You are allowed to examine and explore dataset. Well, of course. Imagine if you couldn't. Let's see. Select from. I'm going to put this here. So we have one filter here. Actually, before we do that, let's check out. They said that some of them are non-integer values. So let's investigate that. Distinct stars. Let's check out what this one gives. So stars we have here, we have numerical values, and then we have this one right here, this question mark. But what we really want is to cast these, because this, if you look here, this is a varchar. And we need to make it like down here, we need to make it an int. Now, if we try to do it like this, we're going to get an error because down here, this is not a number. So we have to filter out all of the things that are not numbers. Now we can do it in 2 ways. We can do it in a cheesy way, quick way to achieve the goal here. And then we can do it in a better way. That would be more generalized. So in this case, we want to simply filter for stars where they are not this. And now we have all of those values that are not that question mark. So we figured this part out. Now we can easily cast this. We could say cast, the cast function as, and here, because we want to cast it as integer, we have to actually use the data type signed. I don't know why they are using signed. It's so unintuitive. It should have been just, int or maybe integer. I think that's how it is in PostgreSQL. Let's try really quick here. Okay, let me copy this. Postgres integer. Yep, it works. So in PostgreSQL, you can write integer here. Maybe can we write int? Yep, I think you can even write small int. Yep. So, but we are not doing Postgres, so we have to actually use the signed thing here. The data type has to be signed. Now we did this, we're just gonna rename it back to stars from this cast thing. We're gonna rename it to stars. Now we just have to show all the other columns. And because there's a lot of them, we have to write them manually, which is gonna take a while. So I'll just copy paste the entire thing and then delete all of this. And then put commas. And then stars here. I'm gonna replace it here. I'm gonna put comma, comma, comma. And so on. And we're gonna indent these. And run the code. Check the solution. Everything is fine. We have, basically it looks identical. Just that we don't have the question mark rows. And now this star here, it's not a varchar anymore, and now it's an integer. just like here, like these. Now this is a very cheesy way, because what if we have like not just a question mark? What if we have 2 question marks? Well, then you could say, well, you could use the like operator, like function. But what if you have another character? So one way to do this, the correct way, is to actually use the regex function, this thing right here. Now, I am not a regex expert at all. I actually don't even understand this. Like specifically character by character, I do not understand it. I can show you what it truly means. You can pause the screen here if you would like. This is the full explanation of what that code does. So you can pause it and look at it if you're curious. But we're not going to discuss that because that's not the point right here. What it actually does is checks if in here it's just numbers. And if we run it like this, this is a lot more correct. Because now if we have the values here could be, you know, anything. It could be, let's say AB5. This is not a number. It could be, let's say this one could be, I don't know, salad. Sad. It could be anything that's not an integer number. You have to remember this specific code right here is just for integers. So if the stars column would be 2.3, it would still not be, it would not pass this filter. This is just for integer numbers. So like 2, 3, 5, like that, that's an integer. But as soon as we have commas in here, this is not a number according to this filter. And if you want it for floats, there's also another, you know, another regex function that checks for that as well. But we don't really care for that, because in this case, we know that our data set should only actually have integer numbers between 1 and 5 and nothing else. So this would be the more correct way of doing this. And lastly, problem number 5, guys. Let's see what we have to do in this one. Find records. That would mean, you know, all the asterisk with the filter with value this in the stars. Wow, this is so easy. We have to find records where we find this in the stars. Select from this records. That will be actually, that will be just the, yeah, the records. And we have a filter where stars like, where we find this anywhere. And there you go. That's basically a solution. Very, very easy. We return all of the rows here where we're looking for the question mark to be anywhere in the stars column. So that was it for today's, guys. Thank you for watching another short episode. Problems were pretty quick. Sometimes we have more difficult ones, but sometimes we have faster ones. Eventually, we're going to get into more difficult problems. But for now, we're going to start slow. We have to master the basics, okay? So thank you for watching. And if you enjoy these kinds of problems, I highly encourage you to join the StrataScratch community. Consider using the affiliate link in the description. It is of tremendous help for a small creator like me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.